Wham! Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk. Intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
When are we going to fix that intro? Hey, welcome to the Drift Radio Show. We're on the air live, coming to you from Wham Studio, deep in the bowels of the People's Republic of Ann Arbor. You know, normally your host would be Gary Wellings, but he's not today. Derek, is there any chance of him getting out of there during the broadcast?
No, it doesn't look good.
Okay, all right. Well, Gary's away on assignment right now, and so to take his place, you've got me, Ed BOnderenka, and to take my place, you've got Alex Wassell, and then just sitting in generally is Pastor Rick Dietering from the next show to come along. So,
hello.
Hello. There you go. Hi.
There you go.
So our mission here is to let you know what's going on, and you can find out what's going on a daily basis if you get your news at thedailydrift.com. It's
the news you need to know.
You are well practiced at that. Excellent, excellent. So, like I said, Gary's off on assignment. We're live. If it's a Saturday noon, just after 1 o'clock, and it's 82 degrees out, we're live. And you can call us at 734-822-1600. If it's snowing out right now and it's not that time, you're listening to a podcast probably. So, I remember one time I was taking my family out on the lake, and it was a beautiful sunny day just like today. And I'm listening to, this is years ago, NPR, because it's Saturday afternoon. And we're going out to the lake, and I hear about tornadoes in the area and thunderstorms. And I said, well, this is a podcast, a rebroadcast. It's a beautiful day, right?
Right.
We got out on the lake, and that's when the tornado drove us back off. It was scary. So I always pay attention to those things now. So enough of talking about other radio stations and other networks and how they can screw your life up.
It scares me to know that you listen to NPR.
That was a long time ago.
I'm in the same
Alex,
room as...
did you ever listen to NPR? Go ahead.
Well, I have to admit I did at one time. Not so much anymore.
I listen to the comedy shows, but I'll be honest
Two
with you.
repentant communists in here.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't go that far.
I used to listen to some of the comedy shows in the morning when all there were financial shows on other stations. Mm-hmm. And they just got too left-wing and too right-wing bashing for my taste. I couldn't even laugh at the funny stuff anymore because it was sickening. But that's me. Your mileage may vary. So once again, we're here, the Drift Radio Show, not some other station, certainly not that station 910 in Detroit that everybody keeps talking about when they call in, which I have never heard, thank God. So the show is brought to you by the Current newspaper. You can either pick up the Current newspaper at a local newsstand out of your mailbox or go online, currentonline.com. And the advertisers that support the Current bring this show to you. And one of those is AAA Network. And AAA Service Network, and you can get them at AAAServiceNetwork.com. They provide so many different services, plumbing, heating, cooling. You're not worried about heating so much, but cooling certainly. Generators, appliance repair. They are a full-service organization. You need to avail yourself of their services. I was just talking to a neighbor of mine, Dave, this morning, and Dave had one of their vans over there Thursday. So I was asking him this morning, so what did AAA do for you? He said, well, they came out. I was having AC problems. They looked at what was going on. I didn't think it was getting cool enough. And I said, so what did you think of the technician? He says, smart, friendly, young, energetic, wanted to sell me stuff I didn't want to buy. And I said, well, that's fine. So, and I pressed on with my questions because I wanted to get something positive out of it, and it was that basically the guy's AC unit was getting a little bit older. He needed some ductwork repaired to a certain room, and because it was deteriorated inside. And he was quoted what I thought was a good price on doing that. It's the decision he wanted to put off. But the thing is, the guy who visited him did not just throw something on the system and charge him for it. He walked out of there, didn't cost him a dime. He got an evaluation of what he needed from a knowledgeable person. Sometimes that's all you really need.
You got some good advertisers on your paper. I have to say that.
Oh, thank you. I think so, too.
You got high-quality advertisers, and I appreciate that because I go to a lot of these papers, and it doesn't matter who they throw in there to fill the space. And you got some good ones. And the stories are great in your paper, too. Just a shameless plug for the Drifter.
Well, thank you very much.
And I'll get money. I love all your writers. And out of all the people I have read through the Drift, Ed, I have to say, you're one of them.
Oh,
that's all I want to say about your writing.
You're welcome
is you're
to
one
sit
of
in
them
next week too, Rick. So, all right, let's get on to the news you need to know. Okay, let's start off. We're getting into towards the bottom of the hour already, and we've got some stuff to talk about. First of all, thank you. An actual watch that shows me the time. 12:29.5. That's when the music starts, I was told by Derek.
Okay.
And we've got callers already. My goodness. So we got Mark from Howell on the NPR Democratic debate. Well, that got into it earlier than I wanted to. It's So let's try that one. We might as well go there first instead of last. So much for the script. Right out the window.
Good idea.
Hey, Derek, would you plug in Mark from Howell, please? Hey, you there?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Mark. How are
morning.
you?
I'm doing fine. The news you know you need.
I think he's plugging for a job
Yeah, I
here.
think he wants your job. He's gunning for your job. So, Mark, you want to talk about the NPR Democratic debate?
Well, since you brought up NPR, I always call it National Propaganda Radio.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like Mark.
Yeah, I agree with him, too.
We only have the best callers.
He
here
doesn't
at Wham.
sound like someone who used to listen to it.
All right, go away.
So, Mark, redeem me.
You know, let me be perfectly honest with you. I was a blue dog Democrat who voted for Reagan for 2 terms, and I used to support National Propaganda Radio until I saw the light, gentlemen.
I'm just going to sit back here and shut up.
Well, amen to that.
Hey, we're all sinners. All sinners have a past, and all saints have a future.
Amen.
And, you
Or
know, when
vice
I go to
versa.
confession regularly, I always admit that to my priest, by the way. Bringing up, we got bigger fish to fry. I know that when Donald Trump ran, if you remember, one of the things was, and I thought this may have come through possibly Congress, too, on the Republican side, was defunding National Propaganda Radio. But as you know, we have bigger fish to fry. And what do you think about him reaching out to North Korea right now? I think he should just hold steadfast on that right now, being he's over in Japan. And then also with Putin, I think he needs to put his foot down with the elections coming up as well. How do you gentlemen play that out?
I think that as far as North Korea goes, Trump's the smartest guy in the room. He knows how to play that little guy in North Korea.
Don't say that out loud.
Like a violin. But, it's hard to say how...
Short, fat action figure.
Oh, okay. No, it's hard to say what works best with North Korea. That's for sure. But I think Trump will be all right on that issue.
I believe you're right. But I also believe that we don't want to play into the hands of Kim Jong-un. I think I can't pronounce his name correctly.
You got it.
But, and give him any... I guess, what do you say, like in Hollywood, any spotlight or anything like that. But I think Donald Trump, in those regards, is a good negotiator. And also, now these debates, they were nothing of the sort. And I know you gentlemen will be bringing this up. I listened to all these over the week, and on the radio, I'd listen to excerpts, everybody playing them out on good shows with Wham starting number 1, and Mark Levin and various other broadcasters. But it's just farcical. It's farcical where we're at, but it's also very serious. We have stonewalling Republicans, and we are at a very serious time in our country here if we don't take the bull by the horns. And the Republicans right now, here, and how many times have we said this, they are at a prime time to take control of the situation and shine. But will they do it? I doubt it. Well,
Dick Kupke was getting into politics earlier in his show, so I threatened to get into guns on our show. And I'm going to follow through that. He actually aided and abetted me. He left me a list here of debate items referring to guns in particular, that being his wheelhouse. And, ranging from Eric Swalwell, I'm going to get rid of all guns in America, at gunpoint, I assume, and then...
Funny how that works.
Yeah. Rick, you were not...
I was just... one thing I noticed is I always thought the big winner of the debates, as I said earlier, was the Republican Party and the president. But I want you to go back here now to the last presidential election when we had all the Republicans on the stage. Now, the first at the very first debate, everyone was expecting Jeb Bush to be the heir apparent coming into it. And the media sat there and they created the Trump storm. The media did. We have to admit that. The media created the Trump storm.
They created Trump.
Right. You just look at how much time he got on it. And we're going to see that they're going to do the same thing in the Democrat, except now they got someone who's far left, Kamala Harris. I am putting my wager right now that the media is going to try to push Harris as the candidate, and they'll give her all the push.
Well, the problem with that is they're all far left.
They are. Well, they're all even further left than Biden, who is far left. Okay, I mean, when Biden is the centrist, you have to worry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Especially since he's swinging so far hard left right now just to win the primaries.
But this is one thing that's helping out the Republicans. Everything they're saying right now is fuel for the national election between the two parties. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say that the media is going to create the winner, and I think they've picked who they want, and I think that's Kamala Harris, not Biden. I think they really want Kamala Harris. The Democrat Party wants Biden.
Now, Kamala Harris, the one who's opposed to reparations, but whose grandparents were slave owners?
She's not opposed.
Did I say opposed? Proposed.
Proposed. Yeah.
You had something on Kamala Harris, didn't you?
Oh, I had a few things. I mean, one, she also played the race card on Joe Biden there.
During their debate? I saw that.
Right,
Well, before you get into that, can we talk about that just real quick? She started out her statement and says, I'm not calling you a racist.
Yeah.
Did you catch this?
Yeah.
I'm not calling you a racist, but
you're a racist.
You're a racist, right?
Yeah, you were one.
Right,
You used to play one on TV.
Yeah, old Joe supposedly opposed the federal
Busing.
A federal intervention in busing in Boston, or I can't remember.
Well, Pontiac, Boston. I mean,
all over.
Yeah.
He pushed a states' rights issue.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a KKK issue to me.
Yeah. Well, also, then Kamala then tries to paint herself as the leading civil rights activist in Berkeley at the time, and she said, well, I was in the second class of full integration or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it was unbelievable. I mean, before she was born, they had 15 black students in the Berkeley school system. She was a part of some busing scheme to further promote integration, but she was by no means like the poster child of the little girl at Little Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is she was pulling the heartstring card in this debate. What she was saying is not a whole lot of what she said could be fact checked. Really couldn't. How she felt when she was that age and this being a child in the second year. It was all violins and heartstrings and stuff that's hard to fact check. Now, you went through and you found out, hey, okay, yeah, she was bussed, but there were quite a few, there was already integration happening in the school.
Right. No, the way she portrayed herself was a lie.
Right.
This is the woman who slept her way to the top in California,
well,
right?
that would be Willie Brown was her mentor. Quotations.
Mentor? Is that what you call that? Okay.
Well, yeah.
I thought the one that does all the sleeping
mentor?
I thought the one that did all the sleeping at the top was Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Well,
every time I see her, she's sleeping.
That's a different kind of sleeping.
Yeah,
we're on radio here. We have FCC,
the family program.
Yeah.
But another thing about the hypocrisy of the Democrats on stage and we should take them seriously, as Mark says. But Kamala Harris, she's packing heat. She owns a gun for her personal protection. But if you talk to all the candidates in the positions on the stage the last couple nights, hey, they're all against the Second Amendment.
Well, here's Dick's notes on Kamala Harris. Senator Kamala Harris reiterated her demand for legislation within 100 days if elected and threatened executive action to ban modern sporting rifle imports. She also said, quote, guns would be a priority for a Harris administration. So they were pretty lockstep on the guns issue, except Swalwell seemed to be the hardest over. So,
Okay.
Mark, you still there?
Yes, I am. And